Welcome to Star Trek Theory, where we look at ideas, theories, and speculation on all things Star Trek. The new Discovery Season 3 trailer just came out, so we're going to go through that, and just like the Picard trailer breakdown, I'm not going to go through clip by clip, but rather try and rearrange them into groups to try and make sense of things. So the trailer starts on Michael Burnham, still in her Red Angel suit. She's gone through time, and she's obviously crashed here. We see a shot of her emergency Starfleet pack. Obviously, Burnham's trying to communicate with Discovery, so I'm going to assume that there's no response because we see this communicated many times in the trailer.
I've spent a year searching for that domino that tipped over and started all of this.
So it's obvious that she's trying to contact Discovery, but there's no one to contact, and she spent a year waiting for them. My theory is that Discovery went through the time hole just after her, and so will be arriving quite a bit later. And they'll explain it with some kind of temporal mechanics plot device, so the ship could arrive 6 months or a year later after she arrived, so until then, she's on her own. But then she meets a person called Booker on this alien planet. We can tell this is just after the crash because her hairstyle is still the short one from Season 2. And here's where the trailer gets really interesting.
You believe in ghosts?
What does that mean?
That badge on your shirt.
Because Booker seems to recognize her Starfleet insignia, and he calls it a ghost. So Starfleet, and potentially the Federation, is a ghost in this time, based on that comment. Perhaps he recognizes the insignia, but it isn't very common anymore. Then things heat up, and some space police group seems to beam in and start shooting at the pair. First of all, it's really cool to see a lot of familiar alien races here. Cardassians, Andorians, even Morn's race. So who could this group be? Is it the future Federation? Is it a splinter group that broke away and is policing the universe? Either way, I'm personally happy to see that the makeup is not a huge departure from before, unlike the Discovery Klingons, so kudos for them for doing that. Later, we see Burnham is in some kind of space station facility. And we know it's space because of the space outside the window. And she's meeting someone, and there's more imagery here to suggest that the Federation is a thing of the past. He shows her the new Federation flag, and he talks about coming to this office every day, searching for hope, and that Burnham is that hope. It's almost like the Federation has become the secret society now, which only a select few know about. And Booker seems to be part of that group, as he recognized the insignia and he's brought her to this Federation leader or whoever this is. Later, we see that the Space Police Force shows up again and are firing at Burnham and Booker. They obviously want her. So maybe they're actually the Time Police. This is actually taking place well after the Temporal Wars, which we saw in Enterprise. So could it be that they know she's come through time and just want to put her back? Maybe they detected her arrival and hunting her down. And I didn't see it at first, but when you freeze frame, you can see that Burnham's pointing her weapon at Booker. So maybe she found out something dodgy about him. Maybe this is the point when Booker takes her to see that mysterious Federation leader. Either way, it looks like she's aligned herself with this leader. And something about this person reminds me of the Grail Knight from Indiana Jones. He's that last bastion of the old Federation, left in the space station to guard over the future. Perhaps he's actually a hologram rather than a real person, and he's tasked with coming to the office every day looking for the remnants of the Federation. Finding Burnham is like hitting the jackpot for him, and that's why he says she is the hope he's looking for.
I watched this office every day, believing that my hope was not in vain. That hope is you, Commander Burnham.
I think this is when the time lapse occurs, and we skip forward a year, and we see that Burnham's hair has grown and it's changed, and she's still likely searching for Discovery. When Discovery finally arrives, it looks like they arrive at the same planet, and they beam down, disguising themselves in local clothes. So Giorgio gets to kick some butt in her typical fashion, and then we see something interesting. A group has hijacked Discovery. It almost looks like these could be part of the same Time Police. It's hard to think that a ship that big, coming from the distant past, wouldn't trip up some kind of time sensors, and perhaps the Time Police have boarded the ship and taken her over. There's a new person here who looks like she's part of this group doing something to Discovery's computers. I really do hope that they go down this kind of time police route in season 3 because it could get really interesting, and it could tie into some of the theories I had before about Calypso and what happens to Discovery. My feeling is that Georgiou will take the ship back 1,000 years and leave it in the nebula for the crew to find it again. Check out that video if you haven't seen it. Some other cool mysteries in the trailer are seeing the Trill race. It kind of makes sense since the Trill can live for hundreds of years, so they would be the keepers of knowledge from the past, and they'd know how things used to be. I wonder if the Trill are still good or they've become the bad guys. Maybe they're running this new force. So all in all, a really interesting trailer. It doesn't really give that much away, but it has some intriguing possibilities. My hope is that if they do go down the route of the Federation being disbanded, that they'll at least still find a way to hold on to the values that it represented and continue that in another way. But let me know what you think of the trailer, and do you have any ideas or theories about what Season 3 might actually have in store? Do you think that the Federation survived all that time? And do you think the Time Police is going to be involved? So let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching, and trek on.